Oh, that light isn't even plentiful enough. Let me try and move over here. All right, so today is, oh God, what the hell is this crappy day? It's another one of these fucking human things. October 13th, 2020, 10:07 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. Still in the state of hell of New York. Here's the thing. As Surrey, SURRY. Okay, I did this on dollhouse equipment when I was probably around 3 or 4. I think that the date of that dollhouse was some trip I took. It was, did you have a nice trip, Linda? I'll see you next fall. That's where we went out to Arizona, just my mother and I. I had never been on a plane. And we went to go visit Carol Ringeisen, which is the first Gunder, the first, that crowned out of Mariah as a McClurg, into calling herself the first Gunder woman, being Carol Gunder. But she's not crowned Gunder, she's crowned McClurg for Flurry and Surrey purposes. She married Kenneth Ringeisen, Catholic, Carol Protestant, big whoopoo up in their day and age of the 50s and 60s, if nobody gives a shit, in the United States of America. So let's think about this. All right, so we flew, my mother and I, on an aeroplane, not an arrow, it's an airplane, AIRPLANE, for Flurry, FLURRY. That means specifics. And for this one, for the spracha, for the syntax, CINTAX, from Cinderella, is Gutierrez. I want Gutierrez, gorilla, gorilla, and then Gutierrez. That is how you do this dollhouse from Arizona, ARIZONA. They were, I think, somewhere near Phoenix. Big surprise, the bird that burns and just rises up, the red flame, like Mr. Brimstone's eyes that I'm trying to get to. So there's a dollhouse moment. It looks like, actually in that moment, I have to think about this. It is very Aunt Carol's dirty, dark, dank living room. She had brown everywhere. It was like brown on the walls, brown on the floor. It was like, what did like somebody poop and just wipe it all over the place? I mean, oh God. And then you went outside the back door and it was like bright and beautiful with lemon and orange trees and a pool. You're like, oh my God, it looks like an oasis out here from coming out of the brown anus inside. Oh, Jesus Christ. Okay, so anyway, I got to think about this. Okay, so for the Flurry is you get an encapsulate, an encompass, and then the gas fills it, and it works. I am in charge of that. I am the cat, I'm the Hellcat. I'm the woman, the woman who's in charge of opening and closing the star portal, the Stargate, and the Flurry equipment. There are what's called, in the human that I walk around in, we call them the painted, well, actually the paint. It's like watching paint dry. Yeah, it sure is. They are just skin with nothing in them. Some of them, like my Uncle Tommy, he's a Flurry with arms. So, but he's not a useful Flurry with arms. At all. In fact, actually, I slept over his house once and I said, Uncle Tommy, I said, listen, where I come from, I have a bunk mate that looks like cousin Craig, but he's my age because we're twins. And I am allowed to sleep next to him, and he's allowed to touch me, but only he as a boy. Now, my people at Flurry told me that as Surrey, that I am not allowed. I'm in a dilemma. And Judy said that you were one of the ones that I could speak to. You're not like Linda and Lou. Is that true? And he said, yeah, I'm a new parent too, like Judy. So we're trying to learn from you, next generation, since Grandma and I realized that she must have missed something from Ireland when she crossed the water. I was like, right, okay. So the boy up top, my cousin, you said Craig, he's younger. I was like, that's my dilemma. He's a boy, which is what I was built for. And then you have a girl like me, but it looks like Antelenor on the bottom. And you're telling me I have to sleep in the same unit as her. According to my people, I am never to bunk mates with girls because that gives the wrong impression to the human elsewhere at base camp. So now what do I do? I mean, I know there's only so much I'm hoping you'll be compliant. These are the words I said. And so Tommy was like, right, well, he says, well, Craig only has like a 1, and really Linda was hoping and I'm like, right, see, but that's the thing. I'm stuck between your human non-compliance and conformity with the slurry and the flurry rules. And I don't want to miss my future because of some error in my childhood for non-compliance with what needs to be done or what is expected of me for being born here to a non-militarized zone of complete chaos. Right. So he didn't know. He said, "What if I get some pillows and would you want to sleep?" I said, "I'll sleep on the floor." Yes, that's a good. By myself? Great. Okay. So you said by myself on the floor, and those were my choices. I was like, I will gladly, as a goddess from Flurry, sleep on the floor, not to have to confuse my base camp and my future with a bunkmate that is my cousin that is younger than me, but a boy or a girl, because that is just not my life. Right. And I said, and I know that there are girls that like to sleep next to other girls, which is fine. I'm not here to argue with any of you. I heard about those too. I was like, I'll just sleep on the floor quietly and we'll end on a compliant note. Is that good? Right. These were like my young days. This is how I spoke to the adults. It was all I knew, and they were getting to know me. I don't know. I mean, I then it just stopped because they shuffled me off to pubic school with the non-compliant humans. I did tell on Dollhouse Equipment. I said, listen, I'm a size 4 Soviet. I was like, I haven't grown full-size Soviet yet. For Flurry, those are important distinctions over a non-visual. I said, but I have arms and I have an oral capacity to syntax. And I thought this mission was incredibly important for my appearance with the armed paint. Right. So I know that some of the paint job has Flurry attached, but that's the problem, is that the ratios of Flurry attached to arms in this celestial cycle was pulled in wrong because of messing with my Hellcat equipment and Stargate equipment and shuffling too many of the Flurry into armed paint that they are not happy with. It is a punishment unlike any other. They do not like waking up, appearing as they do. They're in complete chaos. So now I'm stuck in New York at 42. Nobody knows anything as usual. Why am I still sitting as Surrey SURRY, in a box unit for paint. I'm not paint. I am what gets painted based on my syntax, but the paint drying that I have to watch, like Lewis and Linda, I was not supposed to stay with. This is not a militarized zone, and nothing works here. This is the free world of idiots and idiots and capitalism. Right, yeah, I was never supposed to stay put here, but I can't get elsewhere because I don't know how to find anyone. Does anyone on planet Earth know what happens to you in venipuncture and evaporate when you have a flurry inside of your paint and you dishonor me in any way, like abandoning me for 42 years and not changing the book I came with, which is very really what needed to be done in pre-convictions from 1980s with extra special service in order to take the Stargate away. There's no access in or out of Stargate except through where my person is in Goddess NYX until further notice since 1978. As soon as your painted skin dries up like a raisin, your flurry will either return to where it belongs in cosmic nursery for next gen, or it will evaporate and the gas will go back into the main system until I can retune the entire celesti and lunar cycle. That was already stated. So why am I sitting in New York with no funds, no bunk mate, no anything in your disgusting paint, watching it dry like as if I give a shit? Human. I call paint human.